Welcome to our new series, the 200 Movie Challenge. Our goal this year is to watch 200 movies that we haven't seen yet. If you want to listen to the full podcast where this clip is from, the link will be in the description. Now enjoy today's movie. Soto, as we've been taking this trip on watching 200 new movies,
Yep.
I've been doing a lot of this, again, I've been enjoying this. Yeah, there's some shit movies I've seen, but I just mentioned like Clerks 3, Bill and Ted, Jay and Silent Bob. I'm like, God, all these movies that are just nostalgic for me. Jim Henson, I'm like, I'm so happy. And so Tuesday, I was like, all right, I can watch a second movie. And I was on Tubi, Netflix, I was scrolling. I miss the days of just going through Blockbuster, just trying to scroll. And that's all I do sometimes, scroll. And then something stared at me. And I was looking at that picture, and I'm like, do I want to do this? Do I want to ruin this childhood? Because I've heard so much bad shit about this. How bad can this really be? I'm like, fuck it. I am about to find out. I'm going to clear my throat for this, Soto, because you're going to question my sanity. I watched the 2014 movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The remake, the first remake they did.
Oh my God, is that where they were like all like realistic turtles and shit?
I wouldn't say realistic, but yes.
Yeah, but they were like, it was live action, right? But it was
live action.
Strange.
All right, taking a deep breath for the Soto. So first, it starts off because we know the story. I obviously grew up with the '80s cartoons, the '90s movies. I'm like, that was my shit. I didn't read the comics, so I can't base any of the story of what happened, but I'm gonna base what I know, my turtle lore, on those movies and cartoons. So it starts off.
We're talking about Ninja Turtles, right?
Oh, we're fucking going here, Soto.
I hope you understand that we are talking about Ninja Turtles. So please go ahead.
We're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014, Michael Bay. So anyhow, it starts off.
Turtle dicks.
No, we're not going back to that podcast. Splinter is giving kind of the narrative of the beginning, which they kind of glossed over. They don't need to show everything. We kind of know the story. But I'm listening to Splinter. I'm like, something's off. Like, he doesn't sound old. He doesn't sound wise. And so I wasn't happy. It's like, okay, whatever. It's just the way Splinter sounds. And then they start the movie with April O'Neil. April O'Neil is, same thing. She's, reporter, Channel 6 News. She's got the yellow jacket. Megan Fox, nice. Whatever, yellow. But
it's got to be yellow jumpsuit, not just yellow jacket.
It's a yellow jacket. Sorry, yellow jacket. But Soto, she wasn't a redhead, and I was just like, "What's going on?" And she wasn't even a real reporter. She was like the fluff reporter, doing all the fun stuff, like the guys, almost like the TMZ stuff. She wants to be a real reporter, and yeah, I was just like, "I'm not feeling this April O'Neil." So no, I was getting sad. It took 20 minutes for them to show the turtles. Now, anyone who's seen the trailers knows what the turtles look like. And yes, they are huge. They kind of made them more realistic than the 90s, like bigger. Their faces are kind of scarier and uglier. And I'm trying not to be pissed. And I gave this a chance. But yeah, it took 20.
CG? I'm looking at it right now.
It's got to be both. I don't know. It depends on the scenes. Now, I will say, obviously, because nowadays movies are made better. The action scenes in this were a ton better than the 90s films. I mean, let's be honest. Those 90s films that were, really just some easy kicks and punches and very nice edits. But, we even joked, I think we talked about all three were just at the end, there wasn't much of a finale. So, they couldn't really do much in those 90s movies. So yes, I'm going to say right now, at least the action scenes were a lot better. And yeah, so I'm going to get to the story of how they became these giant turtles in just a second. But Splinter gets mad because obviously, just like every Turtles cartoon movie that we've seen, they sneak into the real world, take care of the Foot Clan, sneak back to the sewer. But, he's like, you can't leave. And he's making them do all these like fun little, I say fun, but tests, things that, just hard on the mind and strength. And he's trying to break Michelangelo. And he pulls out a pizza and he's like, is that pizza? He's like, yes, the first world 99 cheese pizza. So to what earth is there a 99 cheese pizza?
Are there 99 cheeses? I'm sure
He
there are.
started he
I'm not
started
sure.
naming them, and then Mikey fell down and broke his concentration. Um, they got
My
the
God.
personalities were there. You can kind of see it. It was I think Johnny Knoxville did Leonardo. I learned that afterwards, which shocked me. I'm like, really? Um,
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, no, I mean they got some of the that personalities. They got it down. Like I said, the action scenes were great. Yeah, heavily CGI, but at least entertaining for what it was.
Sure.
But I gotta tell you how the turtles started. Now we know our turtle lore from, like I said, the 80s cartoons, 90s movies, whatever. What happens, Splinter's kind of his master dies. He takes the turtles in the sewer. There's some ooze. He teaches them kung fu. Okay, that's kind of I mean, it is crazy. Don't get me wrong. A rat teaching four turtles kung fu, karate, and all that shit. But we accepted it. We were kids. April O'Neil's dad worked with basically the main villain in this, who injected the four turtles. She named all four turtles in Splinter. She named them after
Oh.
painters. Oh, she didn't
Oh.
realize it was them until at first.
Oh.
Oh yeah, no, no, no.
Oh.
And
Oh.
then her
This is
dad, her dad, seeing
terrible.
what the main villain is doing, tries to stop him, and the guy basically kills her dad, sets the place on fire. But April sneaks the turtles in Splinter, saves them, puts them in the sewer, and just be like, "Good luck." So they've already been injected, and obviously they're in the sewer, and they grow. So
What happened to
so
Splinter's backstory and
oh
shit?
no, there is no Splinter's backstory. But now you're wondering, well, how does he know kung fu and karate? Well, he
Yes.
realized. Oh no, I'm going to get to
And
that
his
right now.
backstory.
I wouldn't say there's much of a backstory, Soto. I'm just preparing you for sadness. Um, but anyhow, they're becoming teenagers, and he's trying to show, teach them things real life. But he knows sooner or later they're going to have to defend themselves. But somehow in the sewers, Soto, they're just a karate book. That
Book
he
on
reads the book, and
karate.
now he's a master of karate. I wish I was
How you learn how to
joking.
read?
I don't know. Well, he was injected with the serum as well. I don't know. That's just the story. You need to accept it. We all need to accept it. That's just the story. That's the rules they gave us. I don't like the rules. I'm sad by the rules. Um, but it was there. So yeah, I'm not gonna say yeah. This movie tried to ruin my childhood. Again, there were some parts I did laugh at. You can't not laugh at some of the jokes because they're turtle humor. They got that down. The personalities were there. The action scenes, while over the top and silly and very Michael Bay, they were entertaining for what they were. But yeah, so this came very close to breaking me. Oh, hold on. I just kind of flipped over my notes before I was about to give my number. But so Splinter fights. Because obviously they learn where the turtles are, and they send the whole Foot Clan after him. Now
Who
we've seen
does?
the main
Shredder?
guy. Fuck! I forgot Shredder. I've been so sad, dude. I'm about to ruin your childhood even
I've
more.
been
Hold on.
so
Put Shredder
sad.
aside. Put Shredder aside a second, because I need to tell the
How
story that I
can
just
I?
saw in my notes. Because
Okay.
it's right. The Shredder thing's right under this. So Splinter and the no, it's not even Shredder sending them. It's well, Shredder's a part of it, but the guy that injected them with the ooze because he thought this ooze was gone. Like everything, I say ooze, I forgot what the fuck they called it. Because there was nothing
Ooh,
left
if
in the
it's
building, and he
terrific.
could never recreate it. But now that he knows they are alive, he needs them alive. So anyhow, Splinter's the first to lead the fight before Shredder gets there in the
Sure.
Foot Clan. Now we've seen Shredder fight, or excuse me, Splinter fight. Splinter leads the fight. I'm sorry, Splinter leads the fight, and
Mhm.
he just does the little kicks. Dude, this guy whips his tail left and like you're just like I did not expect this. Do you remember in Attack of the Clones when Yoda just goes all batshit crazy in that lightsaber fight that we never
Yes,
saw coming?
of
That's
course.
how I felt. I'm like I don't know if I like this, but it's here. So
Well, I
let
mean, we really didn't see a lot of that in the original one.
exactly. Now let me explain to you who Shredder is, or what. So Shredder is, the guy that kind of taught the main guy who did the lab, whatever. But they had to update Shredder as well. Update Shredder
Okay.
is like, you picture him in your mind. What remember,
I,
what we
of
saw
course
in
I
those
can.
movies and the cartoons, the simple purple and the blades. Now just take those blades and everything and act like Iron Man built him a suit. These blades come flying off, like he shoots blades, and they magnetically come back to him so he can multiply and just keep shooting blades non fucking stop, Soto. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? This isn't even karate. This is just like insanity. And yeah,
Uh,
he's doing kicks and flips, but he's shooting like 10 blades, and Leonardo's trying to like jump and dive and pass everything. Yeah, so it's Super Shredder on super steroids in a suit,
yeah.
and yeah, it was just,
Wow.
um, but they don't explain anything. Obviously, it's just that's it. Um, and yeah, Shredder,
Well,
instead of dying, he kind of gets, a little ooze and kind of sticks in his blood and disappears. So who knows? I know there's a sequel. I don't know if I want to see the sequel. Ask away, Soda. What
no.
we're
Well,
gonna ask?
here's my question for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Very important question.
Oh,
Right. Is this movie that you just watched better than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3?
oh, fuck.
Because you're shitting on it, okay? And you're acting like the original movies we saw were some sort of fucking gold
Oh, no,
mine
no, no. I'm not
of
saying they're gold.
cinema.
I'm not saying they're gold. But what they were for their time. So, like I said,
Sure.
the action scenes were a lot better. Do not get me wrong. Just
But we
everything
saw
that
Turtles in
every
Time. We
story
saw that shit.
aspect of it. Um, yeah, you know what? Probably, and that's a very iffy probably. Just because there's a lot of. I mean, obviously it's
Better
turtles.
done.
Here I am saying plot holes,
Well,
but if you look at Turtles 3, I mean,
but
they're samurai warriors with guns, and you're like some scepter, and April, and then Casey Jones is somehow in the past. So there's just a lot of unexplained shit. At least this one had a plot, as crazy it was. It just ruined everything that the turtles were. So, is it better?
but better
Yeah,
than.
I probably would rather watch this again than Turtles 3. If I really think about it. Because again, I know we talk about nostalgia of the first three, and you're right. The first one was just a classic in our hearts because we grew up on the turtles. But when when we did those podcasts in the turtle movies, we're like, yeah, there's a lot of problems. Even the ooze, we were like, oh, because they couldn't get Bebop and Rocksteady, we had to settle for that, whatever. And we had
That was
Go
terrible.
Ninja, Go. And there wasn't a
No,
lot
I.
of action. They couldn't really do a lot of action scenes with those suits. So hence
Mhm.
why I feel like they were good. Raphael's, they're all their typical selves. But Soto, yes, I am shitting on this. I did at least enjoy some parts. I did say I'm not gonna lie, I laughed at some parts, but it's just I'm watching like, what the fuck is all this? What is going on? So the question is now where I rank this. And don't worry,
We're doing.
it's not under the bed. I can't
I
put it.
mean, I wouldn't. I wouldn't think it is just based on the fact that it has a plot.
It has a plot, and I mean, it changed a lot of what we knew. And maybe kids today like these turtles better. I don't know. I can only talk about an old me remembering the turtles of the past. So I get it. There's a little bias, but Soto, I had this. I at one spot, then I thought about it. I put this at number 22, which puts it at below Tag and above Beetlejuice. I would rather watch
You,
the turtles again than Beetlejuice.
you and your tag movie, man.
Well, here's the thing. I actually had this above Terrifier. I had this at 19 at one time. And I was like, you
Yeah.
know what? I'm going to remember Terrifier more. And then I looked at like, my old ass and even Wings and Tag. And I'm just like, I'd rather watch Tag than this. Is it? But then I
Okay.
kind of looked at Beetlejuice. I'm like, no, I'd rather watch the Turtles than Beetlejuice. I've said my piece on that movie. I don't want to say it again, but
That is a shocking, just shit on of Beetlejuice. Like
Soto,
at least a Beetlejuice that has Michael Keaton. And no, you're right. I haven't seen it, but wow, Tim Burton must have dropped a fucking bag on that shit.
well, I told you, Michael Keaton, they wasted. I mean, that character could have been so much more. They just, I feel
I
like I
believe you.
want you to see it just so you can understand it. I know how you feel about Tim Burton and how, at least you like the original, but oh man, it is tough. It is tough. But yes, I would rather watch the remake of Turtles than Beetlejuice.
Wow. I mean, that says it all right there.
Yeah. And so I felt like, yeah, I did have Turtles a little higher. Then I started thinking, I'm like, I had to take that nostalgia out. I'm like, let's just stop. I'm like, I did like the action scenes. I can't put this below that. And yes, so it was kind of in that area, like movies which are going to be memorable one way or another, good or bad, for one scene. And I'm like, no, I'm going to remember Terrifier for that one scene. Like it was bad acting, but you're going to remember for Art the Clown in the Split. Tag, like I said, again, it was fun. It was, it is an absurd plot, but they're just like, hey, deal with it. And I'm like, all right, I'm in for the ride. But yes,
Hey, deal with it.
I could not put Turtles below Beetlejuice. So I couldn't.
Wow.
I couldn't.
That's fucking wild. All right. Well, hey, we've discussed a lot of Turtles media. So good on you for reaching out there. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not terribly surprised. We talk about Turtles, and I'm sure you saw it and you're like, you know what? It's time to get back into the Turtleverse. And yeah.
Well, I just want to say how bad it really was. Like I've heard the rumblings, but it was
And how
bad.
do you feel?
You know what?
You
Again,
feel like
with this journey, I'm glad. I'm glad to see it because at least now it's kind of, I take us back to the blockbuster days. If you came up to me and had the Turtles, I saw it and I'm like, listen, I suffered. This is what you're going to get. Now, if you want to suffer like me, that's fine. I'm like, but if you want to relive your childhood, maybe put it back on the shelf. That's why we saw it. So yes, I'm happy because like that's the point about this. We're seeing movies that we haven't seen that we probably should have, and like I said, it's not the worst thing I've seen. I did enjoy some parts of it. I'm just not going to see it again. I doubt I'll see the sequel, but who knows what the rest of the year might unfold for me. I'm just not rushing to see the sequel. Let's just put it that way.
ah, so you're saying there is a sequel. I guess I can look
I
this
heard there
up.
was a sequel, like it was called Out of the Shadows or something. And now I think they're rebooting
Oh,
it again. So I don't know too much about that at the moment, but I know there is a sequel to the remake. And I think it's just called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows or something. So there is a sequel out there.
jeez.
Which again,
Okay.
if I
Well,
happen to be scrolling through Netflix, Tubi, or whatnot, and it's there, one day maybe, just not anytime soon.
okay.
So Soto, before we end this, I want to ask you something. We kind of been talking about
Sure.
this from time to time, and I just want to see if you're definitely down for this. Now we joked about
Okay.
when this started, should we have a week where we pick a movie for each other? No questions asked.
Mhm.
The only kind of, I say rules, but under 2 hours, but more importantly, well, free, but it has to be a movie the other has seen. And with next week kind
Yes,
of
I
being
remember
April
that.
Fools, do you want to do
Mhm.
this for next week?
Movie that we've seen,
That the other, you got, it
and it's probably going to be on Tubi, right? It doesn't matter, right? Just as
doesn't
long as we
matter.
share the
Doesn't
same.
matter. You would, because I'm only asking, because if you say yes, I already know which movie I have for you.
Oh, I'm definitely a yes. I don't know what movie I have for you, but
Okay.
I'm definitely a yes.
So Soto, I'm gonna kind of, I'm not gonna spoil it too much, but I kind of want to talk this out with you, and you'll
Okay.
understand why. Now, FYI, this is not a musical. I want to get this straight, but there is going
Appreciate
to be
that.
like a music and dancing element. But think of it like Footloose and those kinds. It's not a musical, so I'm going to say that right now because I
Thank
think
you.
it's it. So just don't worry. But there is songs, there is a little dancing. I don't think you've seen this for two reasons. One, A, it's not on your letterbox. B,
Okay.
this is a 1989 movie, but this movie bombed. This movie also never
Uh-huh.
had an official DVD release.
Oh
Now,
God.
this is give or take, and
It's a
I don't want to explain
Is it
yet.
available?
Oh, it is, and this is where we're going to get to it. Technically, it is on YouTube. Now there is two
Okay.
versions,
Sure.
and that well,
Yep.
here's the thing. Remember, no DVD release. There's two versions, and I'm going to let you pick your poison. I actually watched this movie earlier this week because it's been a while since I've seen it in its entirety. So I kind of want to refresh myself, and there's reasons why I'm picking this for you. And I'll get to the title in a second. But anyhow, it's free on YouTube. One version, it's just when you look it up, it's there. The audio is great, but the video quality, because it's probably VHS, is not that great. The same person uploaded
Wow.
this something and it said DVD quality, which is a lie because it's never in DVD. Where the picture is actually better, the audio is a little worse, and in some scenes there's a buzzing noise. So
Oh
I
really?
hate to do it. So I
Man,
really
what the
want you.
fuck are you gonna do to me with this?
Well, you might have to watch it on your phone or your Chromebook. So I'm letting you pick your poison,
Like,
which version you want to see. But there's this movie called Sing, and it's from 1989.
Sing?
Sing.
Okay.
It's not a musical,
Why
so just trust me. It is not a musical, but there is songs in it. But
just
remember,
sing?
it's
There's no
80s. It's
exclamation
80s.
or
It's 80s. So it's going to have the 80s
okay.
cheese that we love, but it's also the 80s cheese which you can, hate. I don't know where you're going. I know we've been on this music. I just want you to realize it's not a musical, but there is songs to it. But it's not like they're singing dialogue. But I have to laugh because IMDb. I want to tell you
Sing.
how they basically, this is what they gave the info. You know how they give like information of what the movie's about. They really did
Mhm.
not put any effort into this. Let me explain to you the one sentence that they wrote: a teen film about an Italian punk forced to work with an innocent Jewish girl. That is the worst explanation of a movie. Real quick, all I will say is yes, it deals with high school kids, and I know you love teenage angst, so that might be a plus. It's
The
basically
rain bro.
they put on a competition, which is actually based on a true competition that Brooklyn does or used to do, called Sing. But yeah, so there is hence the singing and dancing.
Gooding
But
Jr.?
say what?
Cuba Gooding Jr. is in this?
A very blink and you miss it. Yeah, so it stars Lorraine Bracco, um, Patty LaBelle, and a
Love her.
couple faces. Trust me when I say Cuba Gooding Jr. I didn't even know that at first because when I first watched this, you know, but yes, he's in it. But it's a blink and you'll miss it line. So I'll leave it at that. I really want
Okay. Sing.
Sing, and trust me, it's not a musical. Now, again, songs and dance, but it's based obviously, as you can see, because it's based. I don't want to say a talent show, but it's like seniors versus juniors. They put on whatever. So that's why. So again, there's two versions on YouTube which have the full, thing. So I just ask, I'm sorry, it's the only way because it used to be on Tubi, but it's gone. If you can find it streaming anywhere else, go for it. I mean, I would even pay like $4 or $5 if it was available. It's not even paid for that, but yes, this is the movie I'm going to choose for
Okay.
you. Now, again, choose whichever version. The one that says DVD quality is better visually, but the audio, it's fine, but some parts you're going to hear like a buzzing noise. The other one, the audio is perfect. I mean, perfect for what it can be, but the video's not as great. So if you're watching this on your big screen TV, good luck. And all I ask is please don't put the DVD or audio quality when you critique the film because that's not part of it. Like, don't get me wrong. I know this isn't going to be in your top five. I just don't think this is going to be in your bottom five. I'm kind of looking and I have a guess. I'm going to write this down. I'm not going to tell you because I don't. I am going to guess where you might put this because, again, it is an 80s movie. And I know how you love
Yeah.
80s movies. And I know how you love teenage angst. So this is up that alley for you. Just don't be fooled by the title Sing, but there is songs in it. But it's not like they're singing
Okay.
dialogue. But there's also dancing. Hold on. I
I can live
think
with
I think this is gonna go right there.
that.
I'm
Okay.
gonna write this down for later, but I am gonna be honest, and I'll leave it at this. Part of the reason I chose this for you, yes, because there is musical aspects to it, but it's not a musical. It's a film I want to talk about. It's just, and
Okay.
it is selfish, but I'm like, this is a good reason as any to talk about it. So I'm going to leave it at that. But yes, if there's one film, that's the film I'm going to have you watch. 1989 Sing. It's on YouTube. The same guy uploaded it twice, but one just says DVD quality. So you choose. You choose which version. Like I said, if you, I'm sorry, it's the only way. If it was free somewhere, that's fine. But this is the only way. But I kind of want to talk about this film for reasons. And yeah, that's it. So
For
yeah,
reasons.
when you know your film movie for me, let me know, and I'll happily watch it, and we'll talk about next week plus whatever else. So, Sing,
Yeah. So I'll have to take a look at your whatchamacallit, your
Letterbox.
films, your letterbox and see what you haven't seen, and then I mean, yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said,
Sing. Okay.
it came out. Yeah, I mean, it bombed in the. I will just say, I think it was made for 11 million, and it didn't even make three. I don't know what came out around that time, but it is. You can tell it's an 80s movie. But yeah, and I'm gonna leave it there. I don't want to say anymore. But
Okay.
that is the movie I have for you, especially when you joked a while ago about musicals. This came to mind, but I'm like, it's not really a musical. but they got songs and dances in it, so I don't know. But it's not going to be like Wicked where you're going to be like, Chad, what are you doing? And it's only an hour 40, hour 38, something like that. So that it's the good timetable for you. Um,
I love that. Okay, well,
yeah,
hey, I'll give it a shot. Fuck
yeah,
it.
yeah. Anyhow, that will do it for the 200 movie challenge. As usual, if there's a movie you guys want us to see, I know Mel's been throwing out movies. I might have to watch
Oh,
one of them finally. Yeah, every time we play Rocket League, she's like, "You guys need to see this," and I forget to write them down. There's something new on Netflix. I forget what it's called. Like, oh fuck it, I'm not gonna try and guess. But now, let us know.
okay. Hey, look, we're always up for recommendations.
Yep,
So I mean, I'll take that ride with you. You know.
we're almost a fourth of the way done, Seto. We're almost there. Next week will be like our first true quarter. So
Nice.
week
Hey, quarter
12.
one in the books, baby.
Yeah, we'll get to that. That should put us past 50. So we're right on
Nice.
track. So anyhow,
Perfect.
that'll do it. Until next time, just go enjoy some movies.
Just to play.